Next up is a beautiful ballad from Axis Boulder's Love, One Rainy Wish. Here's the intro rhythm guitar part. For the rhythm guitar part on this intro to One Rainy Wish, Jimmy's holding this chord. You got 11th fret on the A, 11th fret on the D, 9th fret on the G, 12th fret on the B. And the bass and drums come in and you can hear him hit the guitar. And sometimes you would see Jimmy do things like that to get a chord to ring without strumming it. Then he strums it. Very lazily up and down. And he plays this little riff. So I'm sliding up on the D and G at first from the 6th fret to the 9th fret. Then I'm going to pull off 11, 9 on the A and the D and slide back up. Barring across the A and D, 9, 11, 9, 7. And then he does a quick hammer pull on both strings. And then, so these are just these little lazy riffs, sort of based on E major pentatonic, but you get these other sounds by barring across the strings. And he ends by picking 7th fret on the A, 6th fret on the D, and does a little, so he gets an E major chord sound there and does a little dip at the bar. And that leads into the verse. Okay, now here's the lead guitar part on the intro of One Rainy Wish. On this intro solo on One Rainy Wish, Jimmy's using an Octavia, and there's echo on his guitar as well. And the riffs are primarily based on E major pentatonic, which is the notes E, C sharp, B, G sharp, F sharp, and E. And he starts. So you're going to slide up 7th fret to the 12th fret, and then come back down 9th fret, 7th fret, hammer back to 9, and then do a quick hammer pull, and then a hammer pull on 9 to 12. Another one from 7 to 9 on the B string, and then, so this is 9, pull off to 6, pull back to 4, slide back up to 6. Then he drops in some trills. And he holds this note for about 4 or 5 seconds. It's all free here, there's no time, no strict time. And then he restates. And he ends that riff the second time by going. So that's 7th fret on the high E, pull off 9, 7 on the B and slide down to 5, and hit 6 on the G. And then 5, 7, 5 to 7 and back to 5. Here's the verse section of One Rainy Wish. Let's go over this verse section of One Rainy Wish. Basically, he goes back and forth from E to A, and then E to C sharp minor. And that's the chord progression, one chord per bar. And Jimmy adds all kinds of great fills. So he starts this little, bringing the pinky in for E sus. This little descending riff here, 4-2, 4-2 on the D and A string. Open A. And this is real nice here. It's a C sharp, 6th fret of the G, open B, and then a 5th fret of the E. Hammering 2nd to 4th on the A string, and then 2nd fret of the G. Right to a C sharp power chord right here. And then the next E chord, he moves up here, plays little hammer riffs between the 9th and 7th fret on the bottom 2 strings. Then when he goes to A, plays these nice figures. Got a hammer pull, 4th fret, 5th fret, going up to the 6th. And right here, when he goes back to E, he's going to do hammer stuff, barring across the 9th fret on the D and G string. And then this time he plays C sharp minor up here. You got a thumbed root note, 9th fret of the low E, and then plays a little melody. So you start barring across the G and B at the 9th fret and hammer up the 11th fret on the G. And then you play 11, 9, 11 on the D. Progression goes back to E, back to A. Same kind of stuff, E. That low C sharp there, E again. And now back to the high E, which precedes that high C sharp, so they work well together. And then he plays that little melodic riff 3 times. Then he hits that big C sharp major chord, which sets up the chorus section of the song. Now here's the lead guitar part that goes through the verse section of One Rainy Wish. That is the lead guitar part during the verse section. Jimmy just adds these little fills, and they're all based on E major pentatonic, which is also the same scale as C sharp minor pentatonic. And it works great for both chords. So he lays out for the first 2 bars, and in bar 3, he just goes. And then bar 4 is over the C sharp minor chord, and he comes in on B2. So you have 1. So that kind of goes with the rhythm guitar part that comes later, where you're accenting those same notes. Next bar over E, 1, over A, over E, and then over C sharp minor. So slowly over E, so that's 12 to 14, 12, 9, and over A. Sliding up and down, 10, 12, 9, 11. Over E again. So it's 9, 11 on the D, 9, bend on the 11th fret and bring it back down. And then we're back over C sharp minor again. And it repeats that same melody. this time feeds it into the E chord really nicely. Is E, and then A again, which is a cool riff, over A, back over E, and C sharp minor, same thing as before. This time over E he does a cool riff, he goes, so you're going 7, 6 on the D string to 9 on the A, back to 6 on the D. 9, 7 on the A. You're back to A here. And then E, and this is the latter portion of the verse section. He moves back up. And then just repeats that melody from before, going on the D and G string between the 9th and 11th fret. 3 times, and then the last bar, he bends this 11th fret, and this sets up, it's over C sharp major, sets up the chorus section, which is coming up next. Here's the chorus section of One Rainy Wish, the rhythm guitar part. All right, this chorus section of One Rainy Wish is just an 8-bar section, and it sets up the solo in that the solo is going to be played over basically the same progression. The song's modulated from the key of E major to C sharp major, and you've got 2 beats on C sharp. I'm just playing 4th fret 6, 6, 6 bar chord. 2 beats on G sharp, straight bar chord. 2 beats on B, and then basically the next chord would be F sharp, but Jimmy plays a little single note riff instead. So you've got then in bar 5, back to C sharp to G sharp. So instead of just playing a straight F sharp, he's going to go back and forth between the 2nd and 4th fret and low string. And in bar 7, C sharp. So he does a cool little slide down before hitting the G sharp. Takes you to the guitar solo section. Now here's the lead guitar that goes through the chorus section of One Rainy Wish. Let's go over this little 8-bar chorus section. As we said before, the chords are just going C sharp to G sharp, B to F sharp. And Jimmy's little solo lines that go between the vocal parts are just all based on C sharp major pentatonic. So he starts, so he slides up 10th fret on the G, 9th fret on the B. And then bends and releases repeatedly on the 8th fret, and then over the B chord, almost like a B.B. King lick, 6 to 8 on the D, 6, bend, release, pull off, 9th fret, back to 6th fret. Similar phrase here. So this is kind of cool. You're going to go 6 to 8, 6, 8, 6. Slide up to 11, back to 8. Again, same riff as before. And then this last bar here before the guitar solo comes in, he goes. So we're going to go 8, 6, 8 on the D and G, up to 11 on the B. And then you're going to slide 11th fret to the 14th fret to get that high C sharp, which leads into the solo. All right, here's the guitar solo section in One Rainy Wish, the rhythm guitar part. All right, for the rhythm part behind the solo, again, over the first 4 bars, he's just going back and forth, C sharp to G sharp to B to F sharp. Plays that one more time. And then the rhythm guitar and bass in unison play this little riff that goes over F sharp. 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret on the A string. 2nd fret of the low E. That riff gets transposed down to E. So it's sort of like playing F sharp to E. So then open first, second, open. And then that riff gets transposed up to B. So that's on the D string, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 2nd. Next up is the guitar solo on One Rainy Wish. This solo is based primarily on C sharp minor pentatonic. Jimmy starts up in 12th position by bending the 14th fret up a whole step, and then so you're going to go 12, 14, 16, 14, 12, 14, 16 on the high A, 14 on the B, and then bend a whole step, 16th fret, then you come back down, 16, 14, 12, 14, little half step bend, and then repeatedly you bend the string and pick it repeatedly. Do a slide up and down, and then he moves right to C sharp minor pentatonic in 9th position. He plays. That's how he starts, with a bend 11th fret of the G string, barring across the top 2 at the 9th. 9th, 12, 9 pull off. It's a fast riff here. So it's similar shapes. You got 11, 9, 9, 12, 9. And then over F sharp, he moves down to F sharp minor pentatonic down here. So bending 4th fret up a whole step, 2nd fret of the B, 4th fret of the D, 5th fret of the B to 2nd, then over E, E minor pentatonic, and then it ends on B, and he does the same thing, but he slides up to the major 3rd, 8th fret. Here's the outro section of One Rainy Wish, the rhythm part. Let's go over this rhythm part on the outro. Basically, it just goes back and forth between a C major chord and a C sharp minor chord. So the C major chord, thumb, 8th fret of the low E, A string is muted for both chords, and then you got 10, 9, 8, 8. And then the C sharp minor, 9th fret, 11, 9, 9, 9. And then Jimmy will use his pinky to embellish the chords and add melodies. So he begins by going. So it's like a walk down with the pinky off the 10th fret on the top three strings. Then he goes. So you're hammering A10 on the A string, and then barring across D and G at the 8. Then moves back up for the C sharp minor at the 9th fret. So the riff he plays here, so you're just going to bring that pinky in while you're playing 11th fret on the D and 9th fret on the G and the B. And like on the C chord, you're going to hammer on the A string, this time from the 9th to the 11th fret. And then it goes back to C. C sharp. And then he just elaborates through the whole outro section by playing little different. The only different one he'll bring in is he'll play 11th fret on the high A string to 9, and then 12, 9 on the B, 11, 9 on the G. So. Which goes nicely with on the C chord, or like that. And he just improvises back and forth between the two chords, embellishing as the song goes on in a similar manner. Now here's the lead guitar part that goes through the outro of One Rainy Wish. Let's go over this outro solo on One Rainy Wish. The chords go back and forth from C major to C sharp minor. Over C major, Jimmy plays riffs based on C major pentatonic, and he starts. So 10, 8, 10, 8, top two strings, 9, 7 on the G, 10, 7 on the D. Then the next chord is C sharp minor, and he plays. So it's interesting, it's a minor chord, and you would think it would be like straight C sharp minor pentatonic, but he uses the 9th and the 6th by going 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11. So he's just going back and forth between the 11th and the 9th fret. Back over C. That second riff. Back over C sharp minor. This time he goes. This time he got. So you bring the 12th fret in there on the B string. And then. This is a nice little riff that kind of brings in E major scale. Over C. And it sounds a little atonal because he's using E flat over a C major chord. and C sharp minor again. And then he keeps repeating those figures back and forth. And then toward the latter part, he's going to start to cycle this riff over C sharp minor, where he goes. So you're going 11, 9, 12, 9 on the top two strings. So you got. And then over C, he does a similar thing by going between the 10th and the 8th fret. Back to C sharp. Then back to C. And then the song fades out with this. Just going back and forth on that riff, it stays over C.